Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to import the images that you took with your camera of the tires, how to make changes to them by putting on a watermark and renaming them and cropping them, and then hosting them on the Shopping Cart Elite server, and then also implementing them into the eBay template. So the first thing that I did is I did kind of an example myself. Uh, I took some images here of a couple tires that I happen to have in my apartment, and you could see how my camera automatically gave them, a file name that's not really very helpful. So now I'm going to go through and go ahead and rename them. And we're also going to rotate them so that they're vertical. We're going to crop them, and in fact, let me show you the images I took first. Um, you can just kind of tell what I did is I used just a piece of paper. That way I know what tire this is. I mean, I only took two images of two different tires, so it's something I could remember. But the thing is, if you were taking hundreds, you're not going to remember what's what. So I put the piece of paper there, which we're later going to crop out. And this is kind of an idea to help keep things organized. This way, you're able to take pictures of hundreds of tires at once and then sit down and organize them instead of taking, 5 pictures of one set of tires and then plugging in your phone to the computer, making these changes and having to do it all over again. That would take forever. Um, so this was one of my ideas that hopefully would work. And if you're doing this hundreds of times, you probably want to use a dry erase board. Um, that way, you're not wasting a bunch of paper. But whichever. Also, it's definitely important to make the writing here a lot darker than I did, which I learned after doing this. So basically, I have two sets of tires here. I took two pictures of each. You can see, okay, this is 001 vertical shot, and then a sideways shot. 002 vertical shot, sideways shot. Okay. Now, for the renaming process, what I would recommend is doing it just straight from Windows Explorer. What I would do is change the view to extra large so that you can actually read the writing. And this is another example of why it's important to make the writing super dark, which is why a dry erase board is probably better than a pen. But I know that this says H001, this says H002. So I'm going to go ahead and rename these. So right click rename, we get H001, and then whatever you want to use for the quantity. Saying this is the first image, the main image, I'll just do stock number and then -1. That will be the protocol that I'll use. Okay. Now that automatically changed because I have it set to alphabetical. But okay, so this is H002 now. I'm sorry, H001, but the second image. So H001-2. Okay. And the reason I made the images bigger is that way I can actually see these without opening the file, because that's just one more process that I have to make. Okay, so H002-1. And I know that it's the first image because it's the vertical one. And this is the horizontal one, so I'll go ahead and switch that H002-2. Okay, so we're all set. We have, these are the first two pictures of the first tire. These are the first two pictures of the second tire. Now, obviously, when you guys are doing this for eBay, you're going to take several pictures. But, just to show you the process, I only did two. Okay, so now we have to crop these. We have to add the watermark. And we also have to rotate them. So all of this can be done through a lot of different programs. I'm going to show you how to do it in Paint, though, because every computer has Paint. And it's real simple to use, real basic. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get the watermark. When I send this email, I made the watermark, which is basically the logo. But what the difference is this logo is a PNG file, which means it's like a Photoshop file. And instead of having a white background like these have, it actually has a translucent background. So you can backdrop it onto other images. So you're going to go ahead and open it with Paint. So open with Paint. Assuming that Paint is an option here, it usually is. If not, then you go to choose default program and then you can find Paint. But okay. So, Paint's a little weird. This is a translucent background, but it shows it as white. So what you're going to do is you need to copy this. The way to do that is to select it, And the way to do that is by select all or Control A. So you press Control A, and then go ahead and right click and copy, or Control C if you want to save time. Now, we're going to go ahead and edit our first tire image. So you're going to right click this, open it in Paint. Now, again, if you make it the default program, then that's going to save a step every time. So now, instead of having to right click, open in Paint, you can just double click the image and it's going to open up in Paint for you. Okay, so before we add the watermark, let's go ahead and rotate this. Rotate, and then we're going to go right 90 degrees. That's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, now also we might as well crop it at this point. To crop, again, you have to select all, so Control A, and then there's this crop option here. Okay, you select the part that you want to keep and what part you don't. You can tell, again, this isn't the best image of mine. It's angled, but you guys are all set to make it look, real solid. So go ahead and select everything, and then you can press Enter. Or I'm sorry, Enter doesn't do it. You have to actually click crop. So now we have an image. Hopefully it's going to look a lot better than this, but I wasn't going for quality, just more of showing you how to do this. Okay, so we just got rid of the notepad, so the notepad's not an issue anymore. And then remember, we did copy over the watermark, so now we have to apply it. Now this is a step that's easy to forget, but before you apply the watermark, you have to click Select, and then select Transparent Selection. Okay, and then you can go ahead and paste or press Control V, and then there's the watermark. Okay, it's a little bigger than it needs to be for this image, so you can make it a little smaller. And then this does look better on a white background. In fact, I need to fix this particular logo. Okay, I'm going to make this logo look a little bit better. You can tell it's kind of chalked up. The one that I send you will look better than this. Okay. Yeah, it looked a lot better on the other computer. But basically what I have to do is I have to take the logo that I have from you guys and remove all the white background. Which I did, but it looks a little choppy. It doesn't look good. But okay, that's how you apply it, and then from there you would just press save. So Control S to save, or you can just hit this icon. Now we just finished that image. The image will automatically change and is now ready to be uploaded. Okay. So now to show you how you can do this fairly quickly, I'll go ahead and do the next few. So now you can double click because you set it as default. You can go ahead and rotate. Control A to select all. That way you can now crop. And you pick your cropping points. Click crop. And then you Control V again. Oh, I'm sorry. See, I messed up again. You got to press select transparent selection. And then Control V. Move this around wherever you think it looks best. Adjust the size. Make sure when you adjust the size, you try to keep the same aspect ratio, meaning the width and the height are about the same ratio. If you go like this, it's going to look horrible, and vice versa. So try to keep it in the same area. Again, I'll send a better file because that doesn't look very good. But okay, go ahead and save, and then you can see that that's saved now. Do it again on the next one. And this is probably the fastest way to be able to go through all of this. Now, remember, if you are doing anything else and you copy and paste, you're going to lose the logo that's on your clipboard currently. So you want to make sure not to do that. Okay, so I rotated it, select all, crop, find a good spot, select transparent selection, Control V. And as I wrote in my email, down the road, when we're doing a lot of this, or you have hundreds of tires that need to do this, and you probably don't want to do it yourself. I just saved and then placed it. You can hire somebody online to virtually control your computer and just come in through. There's a lot of programs. TeamViewer is one of the more popular ones, but they can come in and actually control your computer. And we could probably find somebody for about $2 an hour, which wouldn't be very expensive. Okay, so again, this last one, rotate, and as you can see, this could get tedious. So yeah, doing this all day long would probably drive somebody insane. So I would recommend down the road possibly outsourcing it.